Following the incident at the Israeli embassy in Amman and the announcement of a Jordanian-Palestinian crisis committee over the Temple Mount, Israel-Jordan relations look to be at an all-time low since they signed a peace agreement in 1994. Well, here to tell us more and discuss these issues is Dr. Mordechai Kedar, who served for 25 years in the IDF military intelligence, and he's an expert in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Thank you very much for joining me again today.
Pleasure.
So my first question for you is, what can this crisis committee actually do? Like, what should we be afraid of what they will accomplish?
Well, this crisis committee is only one part of a much larger cooperation between Jordan and the Palestinian Authority, which is aiming at establishing a Palestinian state which will overlook Israel from the hills of Judea and Samaria, all the way from Dimona and Beersheba, Ashkelon in the south, through the coastal area, all the way to Haifa in the north, Afula and Beit She'an, means being a strategic threat on the mere existence of the state of Israel. This is what they cooperate on. However, this is a definitely shift from what was meant by the peace with Jordan, because when the peace was signed with King Hussein, he was totally against establishing a Palestinian state.
Why is that?
Because he thought the Palestinian state will be a danger for Jordan, because the Palestinians in Jordan, which are the majority actually, will like to unite with the Palestinian state, so it will jeopardize the stability and maybe the existence of the Hashemite state. Today, King Abdullah turned the whole thing over. Well, he says today that Israel should establish a Palestinian state on these hills of Judea and Samaria, so he can kick out all the Palestinians which he doesn't like to our throat. And this is actually a strategic threat on the mere existence of the state of Israel, which he is doing only to save his chair, which don't forget, he's an artificial king, because the British actually brought his great-grandpa from Saudi Arabia to be the king of Jordan. So in order to save his chair, we have to sacrifice Israel.
So my question for you then is, A, what does this mean for Israel-Jordanian relations? Is this a falling out that is going to become more serious as time goes on? And B, what should Israel be doing about this existential threat?
First of all, Israel should change the discourse, because as it is until this very minute, Israel's officials, prime minister, ministers, army officers, everyone in Israel thinks that the peace with Jordan is vital for Israel, and without Jordan, which is actually a buffer zone between us and the mayhem in Iraq, in Syria, in Iran, actually the existence of Jordan as it is, a Hashemite kingdom, serves Israel. It is a mistake, because in order to resuscitate this country, we have to establish a Palestinian state, which will be an existential threat on Israel. And this is what Israeli officials do not understand. And this is the problem. They don't see beyond their noses. And here I am in order to warn Israel and the world as well, because this kingdom actually works only in order to preserve the Hashemite family, not a state. Instead of creating a Palestinian state for the majority of the people in Jordan. And maybe if the Bedouins want another separate state, let them have another separate state. Why should we keep this artificial state only in order to undermine the stability of the state of Israel?
All right, well, I think on that, it gives us a lot to think about, unfortunately.
Right.
But thank you so much for joining us today.
Pleasure.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have.